from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff, to be your friend in the deep, dark nights and be a mild distraction, mildly entertaining distraction. And normally I'm not like slightly tired when I record episodes, but like this might be a good episode for me to record because I'm slightly foggy. I'm not really tired as I am a bit like tired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not sleepy. I'm tired, I guess, which we've all been and we all will be. And I'm smiling when I say it because it's true. Yeah, I'm not sleepy. I'm tired, man. And if you've been tired at bedtime but not sleepy, you're actually in the right place. And that's kind of why I'm laughing. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff for when you're tired but not sleepy. Or you're sleepy but you're not tired. And you need something to take your mind off of stuff, distract you, or keep you company while you fall asleep. That's what Sleep With Me's for. So it's a different show. Give it a few tries if you're new. And I'll kind of explain coming up in a few minutes, like why and how it works and stuff like that. But I'm just here to be your boar friend, your boar bud. And that does take some getting used to. But I'm really glad you're here. Regular listeners, how y'all doing? It's so good to be with you. This is like the third or fourth episode I'm recording in my twin bed in my parents' guest room here. I'm kicked back. I'm tired but not sleepy. It's not bedtime anyway. I am comfortable right now. So I'm glad you're here. If you're new or regular listener, you're wondering what's coming up. What's coming up is the sponsor support. Our sponsors are direct response. So the listeners who support the sponsors and the listeners who support the show enable us for people who want to listen for free to this version, which is cool. Then after the support, totally separate from the support, a show within a show is our intro, made to ease you into bedtime. If you prefer a show without intros, check out Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's just the bedtime stories from the show. Then after that'll be a long meandering. Oh no, that's a long meandering intro. Then there'll be support and then a bedtime story. I'm not even sure what kind of bedtime story we'll be telling later. And then there'll be yeah, that's it. That's the structure of the show, I think. So yeah, I'm really glad you're here. Thanks everybody who supports the show. Thanks everybody who listens silently. The silent majority of listeners who enjoy this main version of the podcast. Thanks for coming back time after time and time. I don't know if you knew this, but every episode of Sleep With Me gets listened to on average more than 100% of the time. So that means that a lot of people listen to shows more than once. Like our average consumption is like 126% of an episode. And there's a lot of people that don't listen to like 1 or 2% because they say, adios, bub. But yeah, so that's just a cool thing that I'm really proud of. And that's been the case over the years. So yeah, I'm glad you're here, and we all work really hard, and here's a couple of ways we're able to do it, and thanks to people who support the show on Sleep With Me Plus. Hey everybody, this is Drew Scooter. I just wanted to give you a heads up. The intro portion of this episode was recorded not on location, but the episode portion of this is an on-location episode. And that means two things. If you really end up liking this style of episode, this will be released in stereo too. So if you want to listen for a break during the day, you could listen with headphones. But if you really like these episodes, they do take a bit more editing and stuff to make them work. So let me know. You could send me a message through the contact form on our website, support the show directly. Or let me know you really like these on-location episodes, and we could try to record more coming up this in 2025. So that's one thing, but it is on location. I'm going to be in a kayak, so there's going to be bird sounds, water splashing, I'm paddling. And this episode is also dedicated to my mom, and I talk about it a little bit. And I just want to send my love to my mom. I know she's listening. And maybe like they're having her, Cornelia, Carl W., all the other Sleep With Me listeners running free with all those puppy dogs and everybody else on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. We're sending our lulls to you, and I'm sure you've got like super-powered lulls, cosmic lulls. So I love you, and this is for you. This is also an episode that has a daytime equivalent on the Science of Happiness podcast, and we'll link to that as well. But I just want to let all you know that I really appreciate it. And here's Scoots. All right, everybody, Scoots here. This is part of the podcast where I talk about Sleep With Me Plus. And now, as many of you know, the podcast business has changed, and we really count on listener support to keep the show going. But right now, I'm just talking to one listener, and maybe that's you. Maybe you're nodding your head. Maybe you're leaning forward, but you're paying attention to what I'm saying. And if that's a yes, and then do you listen to Sleep With Me on a regular basis? Is that a yes? Does Sleep With Me make your life better? Does it put a smile on your face? And you feel like Sleep With Me makes your nights better so your days can be better. I want to ask you if you could support the show. Like, would you give up something disposable or some small luxury or some other streaming service that you don't use as much to support something that means something to you? So if you're still listening to me and you're hearing me, and if you're in a position where you could support, I'd love for you to join Sleep With Me Plus. And so it's a question of getting a hold of that one person, like, that is listening. That's been the biggest thing I didn't realize until this month is like, most people understandably just aren't listening to me and hearing me. They believe all the other stuff, but maybe they're not going to hear this message. So I need a person that's hearing me that believes in the show to support it. So if that's you, don't wait. Go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, because when you sign up to support the show, you're saying, yes, I was listening, Scoots. I heard you, and this podcast is important to me, and I want it to be around for me and everybody else that listens. You're that one person who wants to make a difference. Please sign up for Sleep With Me Plus right now. You already value the show. It's already changed your life. I just got to get through to you. So thanks so much. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Remember, you could also get access to Sleep With Me Plus by referring people to free podcasts. You sign up for our referral program at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. REFER, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. You get a unique link. You share that on a regular basis. And then you get rewarded with months of Sleep With Me Plus. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, things you're thinking about, thoughts about the past, the present, the future, So thinking thoughts, it could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally that you're feeling, feelings about the thoughts, feelings that are just there. You could be tired and you say, I think that's a feeling too. It could be physical sensations, maybe tired's a physical sensation. It could be changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something. You could have something coming up. You could work a different schedule. Whatever it is, the reason I kind of go through those things is so you know you're not alone, or that we share something here. And what we share here is a sense of like bedtime is not as easy for us as other people. It can be, actually, I don't know if I've used this word on the podcast before, but fraught, which is like, I don't know if I've even said, I'm sure I've said fraught on the podcast. It seems like when you say it, it takes away some of its power. It could maybe because I'm using the word incorrectly as well. But you know what I mean? Like at bedtime, it's not easy for a lot of us, even if you're just going through something temporary. And the reason I list some of that stuff is so you get a sense maybe you're not alone. Now, I'm guessing there's a pretty good chance. I guess I'm not guessing or assuming. I'm confident there's a pretty good chance I can relate to some of your feelings at bedtime, even if I'm not experiencing the same thing. But you might say, no, you're not familiar with these feelings. And I'd say, okay, the good thing is there's enough people listening right now around the world that there is someone listening somewhere in the world right now who can relate to how you feel, who's been through something very similar. And they are sitting up in bed, you know, before they get to drift off, and they're really holding a place for you. I don't know if you can imagine what their body language is saying, what their face is saying, and how soft it is and kind and loving. But there is another listener right now doing that for you if you're new, or if you're a regular listener and you're going through it. And they're kind of saying, yeah, I'm really glad you're here. This show worked for me when nothing else did. This show, like, I tried all this other stuff. I didn't know this show would work. And this podcast helps me out. And one day, those listeners that are doing that right now, holding this space for you and really happy, and it's saying, I really hope this podcast can help you out because it's helped me out. They also hope that one day you're doing that for a new listener too. You're welcoming them in, because I know you could feel that welcomeness. And maybe there's parties, I mean, I don't like to be welcomed, so I can relate if you're like, nah. But you get what I mean? That's one part of the show is we relate to the deep, dark night. Or as someone just sent me email today, the daytime version of that, because she was dealing with something during the day and needed to get some rest and a distraction. So there's that part. The other part is you deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so your life is more manageable, where you can have a bedtime you don't dread, a bedtime you can feel neutral about, or at least feel neutral about, maybe even look forward to, a bedtime with less rigmarole, a bedtime that's less fraught. Fraud's such a strange, it's one of those words that once you start saying it, it's like, it's a lot different than I thought it was. I'm just trying to think of, desserts, it's like a frozen ought. Like, what's a frozen should? A frud? Because people always say, I should myself. But a frozen, like a fraught is a frozen, because I guess for me, there's a lot of oughts at bedtime. You ought to do this. You ought to be that. You ought to have done that. You ought to do this tomorrow. I mean, I feel like fraud is in the same category, but let's just pretend we're serving up some frozen oughts, fraughts. Oh boy, could I have a candied fraught? Sure. What topping would you like? Well, I'll have a double. Can I have a fraught and a frud? Oh yeah, of course. That's I don't know what it's. We call it a banana split here, but it's actually, yeah, you get a scoop of frot and a scoop of frud. And then it's pretty good, but it works at bedtime. What was I trying to say? Oh, that you deserve a place where you could get some rest. The rest you need so your life is more manageable. Ideally, the rest you need so that you're flourishing. Because if your world's a better place, our whole world is a better place. And that is important to me. The way this show works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So that means I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to get mixed up. I'm going to forget what I was talking about. Then I'll double back. Then I'll reverse. Then I'll flip. I say, wait a second. What was I talking about? Oh boy, I forgot what I was talking about. Stuff like that. And all that is to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff. My voice is not traditionally soothing. So when you get here, you may be skeptical or doubtful. You'd be like, when is this show when is the sleepy stuff going to start? When is it, this doesn't make any sense. How could this possibly put me to sleep? And all I can tell you is what hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million people have told me. It took 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show. Because it wasn't what I expected. It was bedtime. I was searching for something, or somebody told me about your show. I was already in a bit of a, not a great mood because I wanted to get some sleep. And then you started going on and on about fruds and fraughts and frandies. What's a frandy? A frozen, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I was going on about that stuff. And the podcast never felt like it was going anywhere, never got started. But on the third try, I said, oh, okay, now I get it. So it does take some tries to get used to. But if for some reason you're 100% certain you don't like me or the show, and that you never will, check out sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. There's a bunch of other stuff on there, like sleepy stuff. Like other sleep podcasts, other sleepy audio, so that you can find something that does work for you. What else do you need to know? This podcast is kind of a podcast that you just barely listen to, or you kind of listen to it, kind of like background noise, or a TV on in the other room, sand in your hand, out of focus picture, one of those 3D images from the 90s that you would stare at and then eventually would make, that were, I don't remember. They used to be everywhere. Sometimes they'd have like inspirational quotes and it'd just be like mystical dolphins. I think that's what most of them were. Maybe kind of like the QR. They didn't relay any information. So I don't know why I want to call them the QR code of their day. But here's the thing. If you're a genius, also please pay me. I would take 51% of all proceeds. 3D image QR codes. I'm pretty sure that's possible. And I'd like to lock that down, but I don't follow through on much except for I like to pitch wild ideas. But I'm pretty sure that's, let's say that's not possible just because I say, oh, okay, well, I bet you it is. I bet you it is possible in my imagination. It's very successful, actually. It's $1 billion idea in my imagination. Doll hairs, though. But what was I talking about? Oh, people not like me. Oh, no. People being a podcast you just barely listen to, kind of like background noise. So see how it goes. You can listen to me, but you don't need to listen to me, like calling a boring friend. This is also a podcast that doesn't put you to sleep. I've been making a sleep podcast 11 years about, and this is a sleep podcast that doesn't put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this podcast. That's the reason the show is over an hour. That's the reason we work so hard to consistently put out multiple episodes a week. We have over 1,600 episodes. There's over 600 episodes available in this free ad-supported feed right now, so that you could find what you like, what works for you, or you just have something different to listen to every single night. For free, over 2 years, you could listen to a different episode every night. And that's because the show isn't really here to put you to sleep. It's here to keep you company while you fall asleep. I'm here to be your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar bud, your boar bestie, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boars. What else we got? Boar bud, boar bruh, your best boar friend forever. And, I mean, I wish we could get a crossover with Girls 5 Eva, or is it 4 Eva? I get it mixed up already. My brain is going blank. But where was I? I don't know. I got lost. Where was I? You know where I was in my head? I had a regret because there's one time I was doing a live event. And I was in the, like, I've talked about this before, like, Busy Phillips was in the room I was in, and Catherine O'Hara, and I was too intimidated, even though I had, like, we have a common, like, podcasting overlay. I probably could have talked to Busy Phillips and said hi, but I was too intimidated. My own issue, not her issue. And then Catherine O'Hara asked me where the bathroom was, and I told her. And that was, my brush with fame. Pretty good brush with fame. And then I just said, I'm just an introvert. I'm just going to keep to myself here. So what was that? What did they have to do with thing? I'm here to be your boar friend forever, your best boar friend, imperfect boar friend, to keep you company while you fall asleep, not to put you to sleep, because there's people who are listening who need a break during the day, or who can't sleep at all, and I'm here to keep them company just like I'm here to keep you company. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm here to put you to sleep and help you stay asleep if you need it, or fall asleep in the middle of the night, whether you're listening or not. So I'm here to the very end. The other things you need to know is about the structure of the show. The show's structured in a very specific way. It's gotten more and more ways that you could adapt it if you wish, but this is the way, as I said earlier, that most people like to listen to the show. This ad-supported linear version is how most people listen. Doesn't mean that's the right or wrong way. So there are ways to change it up, but the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's so you feel seen and welcomed, and you say, okay, I might check that podcast out. Then there's support, so paying for the show's optional. If you'd prefer something without ads, you can get that on Sleep With Me Plus, or through our referral program. If you're in a position where you can't afford Sleep With Me Plus. Then after that is a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. It's about 15 to 20 minutes long, where I explain what the podcast is unsuccessfully every single time. For 10 plus years, over 1,600 tries or 1,700 tries at this point, or maybe not, maybe 1,200. I don't even know how many shows I've made. Honestly, have we made 1,600 or 1,200? I guess 1,200. Maybe not though. I don't know. That's funny. I have no idea how many. I don't know if the podcast. That's funny. I don't know if I've had 1,200. Maybe it's 1,200. Maybe we've only made 1,100 episodes. My brain's already making, because I guess it'd be closer to 2,000 episodes. That's probably not possible. Anyway, not that important either. What was I saying? I'd see I got mixed up. So structurally, why does the intro go on and on and on? And why is it different every time? Why is it a show within a show? Separate from the supports, because it's made to ease you into bedtime. It's made to be familiar every time, so you get a sense your boar bud's here to keep you company forever. And then that I'm imperfect, I'm a little bit silly, I'm definitely more than a little bit awkward. I mean, I'm not even kidding. And you know who else was there? Was Ron Livingston. We made eye contact, and he looked at me like, do I know you from somewhere? But I said, well, I'm not talking. Like, I'm not, that's too much. I'm not kidding. This was like my chance to talk to people. And I talked to the people that worked there because they felt bad for me. It's just the truth. But I'm looking back at it, I don't really have any regrets, because I still, even now that I'm more mature, because this probably happened 5 years ago with the podcast, I wouldn't be able to do it even now. Like I'd say, if like I'd like to think I've changed a lot and grown in a lot of qualities, but talking to people who in this case were my peers, I don't want, like, this was a peer-based situation, but they were like my peers, like, if we were in a high school of like 4,000 people, right? They were the peers sitting at those tables, and I was like, hello, I've had my mashed potato sandwich here. So anyway, and there's no reason for me to be intimidated still. These are all very, I think, they'd be, I mean, when Catherine O'Hara asked me where the bathroom was, she was very polite and nice about it, and said thank you. So I just said, like, I mean, I knew where the bathroom was, so that was, like, I was able to convey that information, but no more information, like, oh, you're one of my heroines. So anyway, where was I? Where was I? Petered out. This petered out. Oh, that's why the intro goes on and on and on. We come up with stuff like this so we can relate over. But most people are listening to the intro while they're getting ready for bed, they're doing a wind down activity, or they're in bed getting comfortable. Only a small percentage of people fall asleep during the intro. And that's just because of like having a wind down and a buffer from the day has been shown to be important. So having something to ease you into bedtime. What else? So the intro goes on and on. Oh, if you prefer a show without intros, we have bedtime stories from Sleep With Me set up, so you could listen to that. But try the show with the intros first. It's just what most people like. Believe it or not, people pay just to listen to intro exclusive episodes that have like 5 or 6 intros. So I don't know. Everybody's taste is a little bit different. I'm just here to keep you company. And the great thing is putting out so much variety allows you to kind of find what works for you. Then after the intro will be support. Then there'll be a bedtime story. I'm not 100% what the bedtime story is because I'm trying to be flexible because I'm out of town and I'm trying to make sure we stay on recording schedule. So I'm going to double check the schedule, and it could be one of 2 or 3 things. So that's cool. And I think that's it. I'm really glad you're here. I work really hard on this show. A team of people work really hard on this show. And Uranus Drive, we all really want to help you fall asleep. So thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple of ways I'm able to do this for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about a holiday season sponsor, Uncommon Goods. Spark into something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. Uncommon Goods scours the globe for original, handmade, absolutely remarkable things. And somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person you know. Now, oh boy, did I pick out 3 gifts that are going to keep on giving through the holiday season. I got 3 different games that are kind of like escape room, puzzle, adventure games. I'm so excited to play these through the holiday season with the ones I love. It's the kind of gift everyone can enjoy, but you can find a gift for everyone on your list at Uncommon Goods. And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday host and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from book lovers to sports fans, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. And here's the deal, everybody. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/sleep. That's uncommongoods.com/sleep for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
All right, everybody, this is Scoots here, and I'm in a kayak. This is an on-location episode, and I'm hoping this is going to work for the main public feed that is, supported by our sponsors and the people that support the show directly. And this is a crossover with Science of Happiness episode they did about Birdsong. So here's what I'm thinking. I know I recorded an intro for this in a different location. Right now I'm in upstate New York, and I'm going to see if we're able to record an episode. If not, it'll be a bonus episode on Sleep With Me Plus, in search of bird sounds, which we're already hearing some good ones. Now, I have my trusty binoculars with me. There is a breeze, so that could impact things, but yeah, we're going to just enjoy the bird sounds. And if you want to listen to the Science of Happiness episode on Birdsong, there'll be a link in the show notes, and there'll also be a link in the show notes to get some bird sounds of just the bird sounds I recorded in Florida earlier this year. But yeah, I'm in a kayak. Where am I? I'm not far off of Lake Terry. I'm in a tributary of the Salmon River. It is a cloudy day, more breezy than I expected. It's 10 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. Not exactly sure. And I know birds are going to be out early. That's what I hear. Though the wind is really moving us. So I'm going to head into the wind, and we're going to see how it sounds. But yeah, just listen. Ooh, maybe I could use my binoculars. I wish I had maybe I could, well, actually what I'll do here is I'm going to, kind of get my boat caught in some of the, swamp grass, lily pads and stuff like that, and take out my binoculars, because there is a good amount of bird activity. You can hear here, right on the edge of a swamp. I'm in a swampy part of the river, and now the front of my boat is in some swamp grass, and I'm taking my binoculars out. Let's do some birding. We're listening to birds. We're hearing birds. I've seen birds. But now I'm going to see them close up, looking for birds in these trees. And so we were talking, if you listen to the episode, there's some purple flowers. Already distracted as a sleep podcaster. Wow, those are nice. Of like how listening to Birdsong impacts you. And it definitely impacts me. I mean, not necessarily when the dude is rambling over it. But yeah, listen to that. It's nice. And it's evocative. It transports me. It stirs something like nostalgia. Oh, there's a bird. Okay, so top of that tree is a bird. Oh my goodness. There's a yellow bird up there. It's pretty far away, so I can't get any other details on it. And I've been big into trying to use binoculars for some episodes. This may be the second episode. I did a bonus episode from a balcony with binoculars, because I really think they well, they're fun to use, and I think they definitely add the ability to get good things. I mean, I wouldn't have known that bird was yellow. We are getting moved, the wind is moving me out of the swamp, which is fine. I mean, come on, wind, can't we work together? Also, must be garbage day. You can hear the garbage truck going up the road that goes alongside the road. Okay, I'm gonna relocate because the wind... Oh, wait a second. No, we may have some ducks straight ahead at a distance, or ducklings. Let's get a look at them. Oh yeah, pretty far off, but they're swimming. Seems to be a family of ducks. 1, 2, 3 o'clock duck, 4, 5, 6 o'clock duck. Oh, and there's another duck. They're probably getting their breakfast. Oh yeah, there's like 5 youth and 1 adult. Okay. And yeah, we have purple flowers growing up from these lily pads. I don't know if those are purple lilies. I'm not, if you're here for the bird facts or the swamp facts. We've had many good episodes about water striders. Don't think it's warm enough this particular day for dragonflies. Got a lot of water striders though, and that's always nice. Got a nice cup of coffee. I'm hoping that coffee slowly goes through, and you know, that I don't have to rush home and use the WC, and that we can get a nice full-length episode done here. But we will see with that, you know. And it's really a perfect day for kayaking. I think the way the breeze is going will make it easy for me to go home, so it means I can expend my effort heading out. And what I'm going to try to do is head upriver, upstream, and then there's another tributary that I think on a bonus episode, or maybe it was a full-size episode we did a while ago, I went in search of a beaver dam. I don't know, there is an episode called Kayak Cruise from a while ago, maybe in the archives on Sleep With Me Plus, or we may have re-released it. A lot of the on-location episodes are very fast and loose. We've gone through them all, and they're not releasable to the public. There's the ducks are off to my left, and yeah, they're definitely fishing. And there's also a family fishing from a boat not far off from me. And wind it will only help me, I think, briefly on the return. It's making a bit of work, but it's not too strong. I guess it's just a breeze, because if it was a wind, I would have already been like, man, this isn't gonna work. But oh wait, we're supposed to, so we do hear more bird sounds. We have a lot of trees, so if I can get a good spot, and actually this is a location that I've seen bald eagles before, and that's pretty amazing. I don't know where they nest. I actually haven't seen any this year, but I haven't been out on the river, and not really here for vacation this year. But today I'm trying to take a little mini vacation. But yeah, you can hear those bird sounds, hear me paddling. The river's like a nice, rusty, chocolatey color. It's got serious ripples on it, no waves, but that's from the breeze across the surface. Have a cup of coffee between my legs. You know, man, life is good. And we're out here cruising you off into dreamland. Now, the funny thing is, I did not realize the irony of this. And this episode is also for my mom. And I'm in her kayak, and it's called the Dreamboat. And it was named the Dreamboat before the podcast even existed. And my mom was a big lover of birds, and this episode's for my mom. She's probably joining us on this cruise. She's doing some birding where there's all the birds, and I'm glad that she's in a place where she can bird all she wants to with every kind of bird, and she can cruise on a kayak called the Dreamboat. But there really wouldn't be a sleep with me, particularly right now. This has just been this year, and with a lot of changes in podcasting and loss behind the scenes. And when I first started the podcast, and I was not sure, it was just an experiment, right? Like, I was like, well, should I keep doing this thing? I hadn't told anybody. There's only a few people listening to it, but it was an experiment. But it was a lot of work, even when it was just a new experiment, and the episodes were only 20 or 30 minutes. And my mom, and I guess this will be a little bit of grown-up talk, but I'll try to put it sleepy as I can. But my mom has dealt with a lot of visiting that place with the Red Cross, not run by the Red Cross, but a place like where they provide they take good care of you sometimes when it's unexpected good care. And she had speaking of my mom, there's a great blue heron really far off. I'm gonna stop and get my binocs. It is on a branch about 8 feet over the river, off the ground. Yeah, wow. And that thing is like a great gray, I'd call it the great gray blue heron. I'm gonna put my safety thing over my binoculars, over around my neck. Yeah, it's just kind of standing there majestically. And that's one of my mom's favorite birds, especially up here. You could see a lot of them. But yeah, so this is kind of a behind the scenes episode too. So when I started the podcast, the only reason I used the name Dearest Scooter was that I didn't have any performance experience, and I have a strong self-critic and a strong sense of like, I don't know. And so I was like, well, it'd be too embarrassing, even though I wasn't going to tell anybody about the podcast or anything. And so I used the pseudonym. I didn't tell anybody in my family or anybody I knew that I started the show. But at some point what happened was my mom went in for some surprise care, and she was telling me how terrible her sleep was, and I told her about the podcast. And I said, well, why don't you try it to see if it'll help you sleep, because I know it's really hard to sleep in those places. And then she started listening to the podcast, and she became a regular listener. And then in the past couple of years, as we dealt with other things, my dad's, who didn't really listen to the podcast, his sleep was more and more affected. And so then he started listening to the podcast. He kind of traded off. My mom, she would still listen from time to time, but my dad started listening. So it's kind of like in the midst of all that. There's a dragonfly just landed on the front of the boat. and our editor Carl earlier this year. Oh, there goes the heron. It's flying. Ooh, it just landed again. All right, this is pretty good. This is working. Able to go on tangents. Wow, it really blends in because I can't see it anymore, but I know where it landed. Wow. So great blue herons. Oh, it just took off again. Wow, its wingtips are very blue. Wow, how does it fly? Like, it's so big. And it's flying far. I'm not even gonna be able. I'm at I'm pretty far turned, and yeah, it flew. It's still going. It's still going. It's going down another tributary to the river. Oh no! Now it landed. Oh no! It looked like it was gonna land. Now it's gone behind me where I can't see it. So we're gonna keep heading towards where I saw the heron, but you can kind of hear we got some good bird sounds. I don't know if it's warmer, if we hear more birds or less. I know it's certain warmth. Like I've been in Florida a lot this year, and when I was there in May or June, there was a lot of birds in the morning. And then when I was there in July and August, there wasn't so many birds in the mornings. There was still some, but in May, June, the amount of birds was like in the morning, right? Like, I mean, I don't get up, I'm not an early morning person, so at 8 a.m., I guess, it was pretty cool. And now we have some white lilies or white swamp flowers, and actually some baby swamp flowers. And we're really getting good use of the kayak because you can hear kind of the swampy stuff around us. And it's going to take some work. Talk about white noise. I don't see any other birds is the thing. But this will be good. And this is where there's a heron. Yeah, my paddles have a lot of okay, wait a second, there's a submerged something. Let's go around that. Don't want to get stuck out here. Alright, so we're going a little deeper. So there's a lot of trees. So we're at the edge of this tributary of the river or whatever, side swamp. To my left and directly ahead is like tall swamp grass with, I think, cat's tail style, even taller, like 10 feet tall. And then to my right is some of that on the shore, and you can see actually the cat's tails. And then there's a bank, like a pretty steep bank with really tall trees, 20-30 foot trees all along the bank, so you can't see beyond them. Beyond that's a road, but up at the top of the bank. And then there's trees that have fallen into the river here, some of which have been here so long there's a set of I don't know what color the flowers. Let's get our binocs and check. You're right. Thanks, Scoots. With like plants growing out of the tree. Wow. Yeah, brilliantly pinkish magenta flowers. And a lot of flowering going on, even though it's, I mean, is that one? I always thought spring flowers, but so yeah, let's keep paddling and talking and listening to the bird sounds. I guess this is kind of an episode I had to make. Maybe this will be a milestone episode with the other ones. So yeah, like I've kind of been in this weird place of like, I've never seen the impact. I haven't slept worse in a long time, and then I've never seen the impact of the podcast more in a long time in my personal life of like somebody really needing sleep as they're going through something, and then somebody else that used to listen to the podcast a lot, going through something, and then hearing from listeners who really love the show but aren't in a position to support the show, you know, the kind of stuff. I talk about it at the top of the show a lot, and so it's like a tough time. Like, it reminds me of the early days of the podcast. It's like, oh yeah, it's really important to make this show and put it out there, and it really helps people that I've never met before and people in my personal life. But how do we do that? How do we keep doing that? Or what happens if we can't keep doing that, you know? Okay, it looks like this tributary ends. I thought maybe there was going to be a path like along the canal, or along the shore, but there's not. So we're kind of not that far off the shore. We're getting some good bird sounds. I don't know if the birds are just deeper in the woods. Like, I can hear them, but I can't see them. But yeah, I hear that. Some nice. There's like a little bit of a breeze, and then the other summer. Maybe it's just the breeze in the trees, but sometimes you hear that other buzz of whatever. But I think that's only when it's a little bit warmer out. Okay, I'm checking the treetops. This is like, I guess this is good because we're listening to birds, we're not seeing them. And those are like high tweeters. I don't know. Oh yeah, I was talking about you. Yeah, no, I realize I've done episodes with listening to BUGSs, but not about listening to all of you. What are you doing? A high-pitched imitation of Daffy Duck? Daffy Duck, yeah. Sounds kind of like you're sending a telegraph, probably about me, huh? Oh, another thing? I'm gonna take a sip of coffee, do you mind? Okay. I tell you what, I gotta move on to try to listen to some other birds. Because we were talking about all bird songs are comforting. Not all birds. There's an SAT question. I don't know what it would be though, but it would be a logic question about bird song. If some bird songs are comforting, are all bird songs comforting? Do all bird songs comfort? Alright, so we're moving here, and we're gonna have to go all the way back around. That's alright though. No birds, eh? This kind of covers up the bird songs, but it's a birding adventure. I wonder what this would be like. I think you could do this with like the peeping of leaves. Okay, wait a second. Once we started moving, okay, we're hearing another. Still hearing the bird that sounds like it's going on. That somebody stepped out its beak or took its lunch. Oh. Hey, you? Yeah, me? Oh yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, we can hear the whine of a distant road, yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're getting some bird songs. Sometimes it's just a matter of like knowing they're out there and listening. Yeah, like somewhere out there you're birding and I'm listening too. And someone's thinking of you. Yeah, just like Fievel. Yeah, okay. And then this is like the form of listening on Sleep With Me. We could pretend we're listening to birds. Okay. Freddy. And then what happened? Cheetos? Freddy had Cheetos. Cheetos, I know, I got that part. That's the end of the story? I'm gonna try to listen to this other bird. chew, 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 chew. I heard the stuff about Freddie. I was trying to listen to another bird. Squirtle? Is that like that's a Pokemon. Yeah. I know Snorlax and Squirtle. I think those are the only two I know. No? Okay. Sometimes you just pretend you understand. Alright, yeah, that sounds... Wow. Yeah. Wait, can you tell me, what was that like for you? I knew I was... Alright, we better move on. Once a bird catches you and pretending to listen, wow, it sounds really tough. They're like, going down, I was telling you about how I ate Freddy's Cheetos, and they were delicious. I mean, the Cheetos sounded tough, right? No, I told you they were mushy, that's why I ate them all. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna paddle away then. Don't remember this stretch of, wow, there's even, striped yellow friends, like, in the flowers out here. We're really, we come in a different way. This is like a serious workout. I guess I went in that way over there, where there's slightly more opening, but, we're going through it. There's like tens of thousands of lily pads. And these are the big ones. And there's tiny little flowers growing up from the water, white with yellow centers, that are nice. And yeah, I am exerting myself. Yes, I am. Then there's some smaller lily pads. I gotta pause and take a little break and get some coffee here. I can see the opening in the trees in the river. I can't quite see the mouth of the river, but like the bend towards the mouth of the river to Lake Terry. Can't hear her today. She's pretty calm, even though it's kind of an overcast day. It was drizzling earlier. And now we're gonna move on. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm struck by the strangeness of this for me, right? Like it's like a podcaster. I mean, I've been processing my GRIEF, like tried to say that on the down low. I don't want birds here, but I did not realize we'd be in my mom's kayak and out and see her favorite bird and stuff like that, and I'd be talking to everybody about it. I knew it'd come up. Maybe it comes up way before this episode comes out, but you know, it's just something LOSS, something we all experience, and it definitely impacts being able to sleep. And also giving of care, even, or helping a giver of care impacts that. All right, we're in the not quite open water, but the water's opening up. I see another break up here, so I'm going to take a right and see if we can go down this next lane. And then I'll check our time. I haven't heard any frogs. I guess, are frogs nocturnal? I just saw somebody splash off the pad. We're gliding. The boat will come to us. This boat will come to a full and complete stop if I don't keep paddling. In the swampy grassy poo. So we're out here together, you know, trying to watch birds, trying to seek a little bit of comfort on a day that is a break day from everything me and my family have going on, and it's kind of like an intentional break day, or what my plan was to use it as, but an intentional break to do some work, because I have not really been able to work, and that's okay because we prepared for it. Like this show, we've always worked 2 or 3 months ahead, because other smaller stuff has come up, and maybe we'll even fall behind. And part of the way we've been trying to make sure the podcast stays sustainable is to run some repeats in the summertime, just because that saves a lot of the resources the show we're trying to figure out, and so that also gave us a little bit of a break. Right now, the part of the river I'm in, though, is very still because we're blocked by all the 10-foot high grasses, and so it is like reflective of the sky, a cloudy sky, but different kinds of clouds. I don't know, this not super humid day clouds, but these clouds you could also see on one of those hot and humid days where it's just keeping the heat and humidity in. But right now it's like not bad, it's in the 70s, and while there is some humidity, it's not stifling humidity. And all right, we're gonna, oh boy, got some good bird sounds there. I appreciate that. Thank you, bird. Oh, there goes a bird. If I can see where it lands. Nope, flew away. I'm gonna try to get a look. Oh, there's another one. All right, we're in Bird Lane, Birders Lane, as they now call this part. And okay, Water Strider Lane too. Don't worry, Water Strider. I've done episodes about you. Haven't done, to my knowledge, any episodes. I mean, I've done bird-related episodes, but I don't necessarily know that we've done a bird-centric episode. Sorry, just moving my feet around in the kayak. And that beautiful garbage truck, but that's, it's another sound. Okay, this is, I don't know if you can tell, but we got some nice, there's no wind and no swamp grass here. So we're running smooth running. Okay. So we have that noise, which I don't know if that's a bird. The constant tweeter. But you're like our underlying, if this was, if we're making music or beats, you'd be the constant. Holy cow. There's also a bird high in the sky. This could be a bald eagle. Holy cow, it's definitely some kind of, don't think it's a bald eagle, but it's some sort of soaring bird, and it's looking for something to snack on. Wow, it's got giant wing spread. I think it's soaring on the thermals. I think it's more of a it eats aftermarket foods, like a vulture versus a raptor. All right, so we're paddling again. Got more open lane. And yeah, I'm really glad to have the podcast to be of service and to pour my creativity into, and know it impacts people and no, it impacts people in my life, but then it sometimes causes me of like not a sense of obligation. Like sometimes people email me about that, but it's more like, how can I do my best to keep this show going? And I get strong feelings about, man, I guess like it just like the fantasy I had for the show would be that it would just have an abundance of funding, so then I wouldn't have to but that's just like a spot I personally and I mean it's probably partially my own issue, but it's like part of it is like other stuff, and then part of it is like like, well, I guess you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm trying to listen. You know, I came out to listen to the birds. I end up talking about myself, and I think that's like what Birdsong kind of offers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, can I praise or encourage? You're really laying down the sounds I needed to just, express where I was at with the listeners, which I don't want to do in some video or announcement, so I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're in this nice little lane here, and I'm just kind of letting us float, because I think if we keep going, we might end up, looks like there's 2 new homes and closer to the road. Oh, there goes a little bird. The thing is, the birds aren't stopping. I guess in Bird Lane they don't stop. They go by, right? And we're getting some frogs. I'm actually seeing frogs or fishy poos moving. Haven't actually spotted anything. My nephew said they saw turtles yesterday as well. Not on when they were walking along the side of the river. So, but yeah, oh, there's some, that probably was a turtle. That was somewhat of a, okay, you wanted to recreate this to Frog Lane? Not hearing you now. Hearing some birds tweeting. I'll keep paddling. I'll keep paddling for 3 or 4 minutes. Here on Birdie Lane. There's a garbage truck. I think I put the garbage out on the wrong night, and so then the garbage can got put back. Oh boy. Well, those things happen, Okay, so we're listening. It's a little bit different of a Sleep With Me episode, so there'll be a little bit more gaps. It would be great if we did see a bald eagle. I wonder if I ever recorded a bonus episode where I saw one. Oh, there goes another bird. You're doing great, though. I don't need a bald eagle when I got all of you. Okay, so we have that constant tweeting noise, which is now to my left. And then we have some road noise to our right, which is actually somewhat nice. Oh, now we have road noise to our left. That sounds maybe more of an engine noise. And then straight ahead we have a little bit of road noise. But these are all single lane roads, or on each side. So their noise is less, it's an airplane noise. Oh wait, did we just hear a mourning dove? Is that in my imagination? That's my favorite bird sound. It is the most evocative sound for me, and evoking something intangible and beyond words. Just kind of like this thing we're on this paddle about anyway. Okay, now we're hearing a new flavor of winged being noise, or high hopping noise. There's a nice. Well, the birds are really giving us a symphony now. I'm almost sad I have to talk over it, but I do have to keep talking because been doing the show long enough to know if there's super long pause, I'll wake people up, and then I get a lot of emails about it, and I don't need a lot of frowny face emails about it, you know? And I don't want to wake people up. So we're gonna keep paddling and keep listening and say, hey, come on out already. We're waiting for you. There's a dog puppy poo barking. And we still got that nice underlying noise. Maybe I'll go down to this next bend. I'd stop paddling for a while, but and then we'll turn around there and start to head back. Yeah, you got some nice sounds. Yeah, you're doing good. I like that tweeting. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I think the same about you, if that was a compliment, or if it wasn't. Yeah, I'm just heading down to this bend to see what's going on. I could just spend the rest of the episode pretending I'm talking to y'all. No, talking to you and I don't know, are you friends with the other birds? I guess that's the answer of itself. Do you have any favorite water striders or water BUGSs? Yeah, that's a boat motor. So right on the other side of where we are. Oh, do you know if I could take a left here and get back to where I'm going? Or with the wind, would it be easier for me to just stay in this lane? Should I just stay in my lane? A lot of people say that to me, actually. Or years ago they did. But they still like to say something, basically, that even if it's just about the podcast, that's like actually one of the ones that really... Oh boy, I got a bird on a lily pad. I think we just lucked out where we are here. Okay, can I take a look at you, buddy, without you flying off? I mean, I'm pretty far away, so... Nope, you flew away. Okay. I get it. Camera shy. Okay. Is some of that now rain that's appearing? I think it is. Okay, well, I'll make a U-turn. It's a really beautiful place, and sometimes I kind of miss the birds for the reeds or whatever. This is picturesque. I think like sometimes there's certain things, certain people are swamp people and certain people are lake people. I guess I'm more of a lake person, but if I see a swamp on TV or someone, you know, that I aspire to be in a swamp, I say, wow. I mean, but I'm surrounded by purple and magenta flowers and white lilies, great bird sounds, birds doing their best, the coffee is still warm, there's small drips of rain, but just barely dripping, I mean, I don't even know how it's possible. By the way, rain, I don't know if I could pander to you too, but it's like, how is it possible that these are just sporadic drops? Like every few seconds, like 5, 6, 7 feet apart, and they're creating these wonderful circles on the water because they're so sporadic at different size circles. That doesn't get put on video very often. I don't know if a phone could capture it, but I can't do it because I'm recording either too. So But yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm just out here on a kayak cruise. I just saw something surface. Oh, there's something else. I don't know if that's a frog or a fishy. I think a frog. Maybe, oh yeah, maybe having a lot, like, it's breakfast time, huh? In the frog world. Hope that wasn't stridey. Boy. Circle of life stuff. I mean, no one, I mean, there was the princess and the frog, right? Tiana. But I don't actually recall the plot of that movie. So I don't know if the frog, what was my point? Oh, circle, like, I don't think it's like a circle of life story. I would guess it's about Tiana growing up. But, I mean, that's another kind of circle of life, right? Because with the new attraction, like, Tiana's like a business person, and she's running a food company. So, and now we're cruising. And now we're like out for a oh boy, got a duck. Solo duck. Duck Solo? Is that you, Duck Solo? You're the only duck. Wow. It's like you taught it. I guess I'm not trying to give you a complex, because it's like we're moving behind it and it's like moving its head like, that dude following me? Is he talking about me on a sleep podcast? I may be. Oh, interesting bird sound behind us too. Haven't heard that one. The duck is like, it's one suspicious duck. I mean, I guess like it's like maybe it's a Daffy Duck fan, just trying to find out who's doing that Daffy Duck impersonation. And it's like, I'm gonna shut that down. Maybe that's who was. Oh no, that duck's not wet, so it wasn't under the water. Now it's picking up pace. I don't know if it's chasing after something, because it's, I mean, we're not very close to it, so it's the good thing about having the binoculars. So we don't have to get as close. And so binoculars, my eyesight without glasses is not great anymore, so binocs help with that. It does seem like we could be in for a little stormy storm here. I don't know, it feels like a little bit darker than when I set out, but we ended up, by the time we get back, we'll have more than enough time of an episode, I believe. The last time I did a time check. Oh yeah, we're in great shape. And now we have that nice baseline. So these are the same flowers, and they have like different shades of purple and lavender. This is really impressive. I don't know, so let's see, I hear that boat engine, so I'm just trying to figure out, hopefully that's like going somewhere away from us, otherwise I guess I'll like start to wind stuff up now. Oh no, that's like far away carrying across a river. That might even be on land somewhere. It's just the power of the river to carry sound. The power of the river to carry sound. Alright, so we're headed out of Birdsong Lane. Living on Birdsong Lane. And I hope it doesn't feel like I'm deflecting or not talking about stuff. Like, I know sometimes people like, as I've been going through this process, I have many resources, including professional resources, that I utilize. So this isn't an episode of me comforting myself by and this is it has been a process that we've gone through this year. So I appreciate those people that might be thinking that, because that this part of the process is like sometimes you talk about something totally unrelated and stuff like that, but this is an intentional episode I was recording, and then I realized I was in my mom's kayak, and it's called Dreamboat, and that's pretty much a cue to me that it's more like not talking about something like that and seeing a great blue heron, realizing that this is like a kind of turning point year for the podcast, as far as like my belief in the purpose of the podcast being so strong, and the kind of podcast business changing so much. Just this past 18 months, like a lot has changed, and just ways they measured how many people listen to the show drastically changed, and it drastically impacted the podcast, and then kind of the willingness of both business owners and individuals, like, and it's not just in podcasting, it's happening in everywhere. So, but podcasting, I think it was like this double thing, because the change in the measurement meant that all of a sudden, like, the ceiling we would shoot for. So if there was, I mean, the last time there was a boom year was it was maybe 2020, but like when you're like then your ceiling of your boom year is like, oh, okay, that'll help us, and now our ceiling is like kind of it's much lower. I don't know, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's put you to sleep anyway. I'm just talking and processing as I processing and paddling. I guess that they do go together. All right, there's a boat there on our way. So let me figure out my strategy here. I think we're at right around time. So let's just keep paddling. Listen to a couple more birds. Maybe I'll get back in time to put the trash out. Unless, I don't know if they already passed the trash pickup point. But yeah, I'm listening. Thank you for saying hello to us. Yeah. Duck? Yeah, you counting ducks? Are you playing Duck, Duck, Goose? You're by yourself, though, so I know birds could play Duck, Duck, Goose. And that they could play it by themselves. And yeah, we're just paddling. Yeah, oh, so yeah, the wind actually changed since we set out. So that's also interesting. There's still a slight breeze, but it's much less. You can see on the surface of the water that it's much less. And oh, is that a oh, there is a train. That's not, I mean, it's much further away than I thought we could be able to hear that too. But that is definitely a train. And it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is, I might have to take a break to say hello to these people that are fishing in the boat, to be polite. And then you won't know the difference, but I'm just telling you, because then I tell myself that I need to be polite, say hello, not ignore people. And it's funny because it's a dad and then a 4-year-old girl in pink swim cap out fishing. All right, and had a nice greeting and interchange with everybody. I had a nice ride with all of you. We're headed back in to park this kayak and start the rest of my day today. Looks like it's probably going to be kind of overcast and cloudy all day, which means it's not hot and humid. If it doesn't rain, it means we can probably still swim. I will be taking my, I got to shave today to get ready for all of our things I'm going to get dressed up for. And so otherwise I can't shave in the lake, one, because that's gross. I mean, it doesn't bother my face, I mean, for other people, but also, like, too cold, so. But I have been, washing myself in the lake, and I lost my bar of soap, though, yesterday, and I searched for it. It wasn't kind of soap that would float, so. All right, there's other people on the riverbank here, so I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. I really appreciate all of your listening and support of the podcast, and you're letting me go on this kind of personal, I don't think it's an indulgence, but I don't know, when I go off about my processing about one thing instead of the other, I appreciate it. And the birds are going to greet us. So I'm going to fade out, and this time I will leave. Oh, no, I can't leave the fade out because there's posts. But yeah, definitely check out the link in the show notes for Science of Happiness podcast, and for whatever recordings of bird songs I put in there. There'll be a link to get it somehow. Yeah, thanks so much.
Hey, everybody, this is Scoots with a message from our sponsor, Helix Asleep. And this is one of those tuck-you-in messages that comes at the end of the show. But I was thinking of a story, one November. In fact, it was this November, Helix offered an amazing deal. And you thought to yourself, I gotta go to helixsleep.com/sleep and take that quiz, because this bed I'm sleeping on, one, it doesn't cut the mustard. No beds cut the mustard. But it's not based on how I like to sleep, my sleep positions, my feel preferences. And Scoots has been talking for years about how much he loves his Helix mattress, because he got matched with a mattress that fits how he sleeps. He sleeps on his side. He sleeps on his stomach. He doesn't want to get overheated. And he took that Helix quiz and got matched with the Helix, picked the Helix Dusk Luxe. But then I heard the call to adventure, because Scoots was saying in November, right now, when I'm hearing this, Helix is having an amazing sale, 25% off site-wide. Plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. They have a free bedding bundle, 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. So it really is time for me to go to helixsleep.com/sleep. I didn't realize it till just then. The moment I heard Scoot say helixsleep.com/sleep, and I heard about that November sale, that I said, I deserve to sail, S-A-I-L, away in an amazing mattress from November 2024 into 2025 and beyond. I deserve comfort. I deserve a mattress shipped straight to my door. I don't want to go to a store. I want to take that quiz, just like Scooter says, just like Scooter did. I mean, Scooter's been sleeping in his Helix mattress for year after year after year. He talks about how much he likes it. In fact, I could hear right now how rested he is in his voice. Without further ado, I got up, I took that quiz, I got a new mattress, and now I'm imagining myself in it, so comfortable. Because who knew? I just take that quiz, I get matched with a mattress that fits me and my needs. Finally, my wishes came true. That November, which is this November right now, I got an amazing new bed, and I saved a ton of money by going to helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks and good night, everybody.